Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Question of the Day, one who omits Yaaleh V'yavo Maariv. And he does not have to repeat Maariv, it's Rosh Chodesh night, but he wants to repeat Maariv, so he could say Yaaleh V'yavo again. So this is part 2. In the first year we discussed Nedava, that a person could daven Maker Hedin according to Gemara as many times as he wants every day, after Shachas Mincha Maariv, as long as he makes it clear. He adds in special bakashot, doing these extra Tefillot to make it clear this is the Nedava. Shulchan Aruch writes we don't do this anymore because we have to first perfect Shachrit Mincha Maariv, and we do not add on to others because we don't even have the 3 perfected yet. And in Achanami, someone who has perfect davening throughout the day, he could add on, but this is not the practice. So it would seem pretty obvious, since Maariv on Rosh Chodesh night, Yaaleh V'yavo is not Ma'akev, and therefore he does not have to go back. So to go back would mean davening b'Tefilat Nedava, and therefore he cannot say it. So he feels sad that he missed Yaaleh V'yavo, and he'll be more careful next month. However, it's not that simple. Shulchan Aruch has 4 different cases scattered throughout the Or Chaim of a person davening again the second time, even though ostensibly he's not necessarily chayav. Several times he uses the language of Lamah Li Rov Zivchaichem. What are you davening again for? Just perfect the 3 davenings. And 2 other times he does not write that way. And there could be an important point over here. So in the first point he writes Lamah Li Rov Zivchaichem. What are you davening so much for? That's in the classic case of Nedava. In Siman Kuf Zayin, the Shulchan Aruch says we don't do Nedava anymore. Lamah Li Rov Zivchaichem, I don't want all of your Tefillot, just perfect Shachas Mincha Maariv. Case number 2 is a fascinating case. In Reish Lamed Dalet, Shulchan Aruch brings a minhag some people had to daven twice Mincha every day. They would daven Mincha Gedola and Mincha Ketana. The Rambam brings this down as well. One they would daven as a chiyuv, and one they daven as a reshut. It would seem that the minhag developed because his machlok is what the ideal time for Mincha is. Is it Mincha Gedola or Mincha Ketana? And apparently some people wanted to have a Motzai Tefila in both times of the afternoon. So they davened one time as a Chova and one time as a Reshut, as a Nedava. And that was done back in the day. There the Shulchan Aruch says that don't do that unless you know that you're really at a very high level. Otherwise, Lamah Li Rov Zivchaichem. So why would he use that language? Because it's a very nice minhag people had to try to have a Motzai Tefila in each part of the afternoon, so they can have a Tefila according to those that say Mincha Gedola is the main time, and they'd have a Motzai Tefila for those that say Mincha Ketana is the main time. It's very nice, but the bottom line is clearly one is a Chova and one is a Reshus, a Nedava, and the Shulchan Aruch is against a Tefila which is purely l'shem Nedava. However, there are 2 other cases in the Shulchan Aruch where he talks about repeating a Shmoneh Esrai, even though it would seem he's not chayiv, and he does not use the term Lamah Li Rov Zivchaichem. One case is where the Shulchan Aruch discusses a person who goes ahead and davens in a wagon or in a car, and he's sitting down and says Shmoneh Esrai that way. Shulchan Aruch says that when he finishes with his ride, if he is still zman for Tefillah, he should daven again. And the Shulchan Aruch does not mention anything about Lamah Li Rov Zivchaichem. It seems like he should just daven again. Does not have to do it as a Nedava. Apparently, according to Shulchan Aruch, a person davening sitting down, it's only acceptable when there's no other choice. The second there's another choice, that said he has to daven again. So there, one might think the Shulchan Aruch is referring to a Nedava, but if one looks closely, according to Shulchan Aruch, it seems to be a Chova. That is not the practice today, and one who sits down and davens because he's stuck on a bus or in a car, he does not repeat the davening. According to Shulchan Aruch, he would have to repeat the davening because it was only Yotzei when there is no other choice. But then there's one final case. Shulchan Aruch writes that a person goes ahead and he does not have to repeat davening, and yet he wants to repeat davening. The Shulchan Aruch writes that he actually could daven again. And he doesn't write that, well, we shouldn't do it anymore today because Lamah Li Rov Zivchaichem. So it's true that Fibugadim Mishabura says, oh, we don't do this anymore because we don't do Nedava. Shulchan Aruch does not write that way. So it's possible to say that when one is davening again, because he wants to fulfill the mitzvah b'shlei mutah, and he wants to have Ata Chonantanu, or possibly he wants to have Yaaleh V'yavo Maariv, then according to Shulchan Aruch, he would not be restricted. Lamaisa, the Pri Megadim Mishabur says we don't do this anymore because it's really a regular Nedava. But I think there would be a svara to say that according to Shulchan Aruch, in that case, he would, even though it's a Nedava, since his goal is to have the ideal Tefillah and fulfill what was lacking in the Tefillah, then even though it's a Nedava, that case we don't say Lamah Li Rov Zivchaichem. But the Motzai Shabbat doesn't hold that way. Shalom.